Speak Up with Lydia Tet Olet, all the way from Kenya. Okay, the best country in the whole world. You know, I met somebody yesterday and they asked me, which country are you from? I just did this and I said the best country in the whole world. In fact, it was from Ghana. It was like, oh, I like that. Because you have to be proud of where you come from. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. I know we've not been here for like the past 2 weeks, but now we're back because we've been doing juggling some events. You know, life has to go on. And before we continue, I actually want to apologize again to the public for the Kenya and Friends in the Park that was meant to be on the 25th and the 26th of June. It's been postponed or it's been moved back, not cancelled, because I know some people are like, oh, it's been cancelled. Oh, let's start laughing. No, it's not cancelled. It's just been moved to the 23rd and the 24th of July. And we're sorry about that, but there are things that we cannot control. And next time when we're not talking about insurance, because I know insurance is kind of really a deep subject, I'll tell you a story about how the world all connects, because I don't understand how the Ukraine war has actually affected Kenya so much that people are not getting visas anymore. I don't understand. So all the events have been cancelled. Sauti Sol's event, and this is one of the biggest artists in the whole of Africa, or the whole world, I would say. Their show is cancelled as well on the 25th and 26th of June. Same reason, no visa yet. Why? Because of Ukraine war. So when you think that, oh, that doesn't concern me, it's just my neighbor, it doesn't concern me when they're fighting, I don't care. Please care, because we are all connected one way or another. And something that is happening to your neighbor's house can actually affect you, okay? So without further ado, today I'm in the studio and I'm with somebody who is going to help us understand more about insurance and why people shy away from taking insurance and why people think insurance is not important and why people think insurance is a scam. So I'm here in the studio, the one and only, so you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Roshan. I've been working as a financial advisor for nearly 2 years now with Precise Protect. I love what I do. I love helping people protect the families, and it's lovely to be here today to talk about what we like. We both of us like it's protecting families, especially in the time of crisis, and where experts are predicting that there will be a pandemic every 5 years. And yes, I mean, it's thank you, Lydia, for inviting me, and it would be lovely to talk about what we love over the next hour or maybe 90 minutes. So thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you very much for accepting the invitation. So in fact, before we dig into this, our subject today, insurance, how is your community embracing this insurance? Because with my Kenyan community or my black community, I would say, it doesn't matter where you're from, but as a black community, we shy away so much from insurance because it's not part of our culture, or it wasn't part of our culture. But now we should break that cycle of generational poverty or generational curses and start embracing generational wealth. And that's what I know insurance is all about. So that's my community. What about your community?
I mean, I don't only work with my community, but I mean, most of my customers are from my community. So what I can tell you is, with my community, it is not more of protection. It is more because we need to have it, so we have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one barrier which I want to break.
Mm-hmm.
That actually, without knowing or without intentions, they've actually done quite a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But where I come in is, I mean, we'll dwell more deeper when we get particular questions, or maybe when you start asking me I mean, individual topics. They have it, but they don't know what they have. So
yeah.
You know, and I found that people, I mean, 90% of my community, they don't even have paperwork.
But don't you think it's because of the awareness? Because I know that there's a lot of scamming and a lot of things that people don't understand when it comes to insurance. So don't you think that, first of all, we are supposed to start creating that awareness and teaching, instead of just telling somebody, okay, you need to take insurance, because they'll be like, what is that? And why am I taking it? But if we start giving them smaller doses, because if we just give them all, again, we confuse them. But if we start teaching our community, because I know with the Caucasian community, they know about this. Everybody you talk to them, they're like, oh, I have insurance. In fact, they start teaching you about insurance themselves. But with our community, some people don't even know what that is. And they don't, and sometimes they know, but they don't understand why should I have it. So I think, don't you think that maybe we should start creating awareness slowly into our community in regards to the importance of insurance?
It's a very good question you've asked. Every time I finish with a client, what I tell them is, because whenever I'm giving them the recommendation, I just don't want the business from them. What I try to do is educate them on different things so that tomorrow, they're not conned in by maybe a person who is just here in the insurance for a quick buck, or maybe who is just doing this part-time, or maybe someone who lacks the knowledge but just wants to get quick business. So that's what I like to spend the extra 15 to 20 minutes.
Explaining.
I know it's not possible to make them understand everything, but what I always tell them is, see, these are the points you need to know, and I hope by me, by me as a financial advisor, having me as a financial advisor, I hope I've managed to explain you all of these things, so that you have a better understanding of what you're actually paying for.
And that's why we don't call ourselves financial sales people. We call ourselves advisors.
Because we are advisors, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So just now start digging it in my questions. So why do you think insurance is important? So you're now sitting here with a client who has no clue what insurance is. So what would you tell this client the reason why insurance is important?
Okay. First of all, I pick on two things, because I firmly believe there's only two truths in life, which is life and death. Okay. And what I would like to add on top of it is nobody can guarantee health as well.
Yes.
Okay. So life, we're born, so that's there. Death, whether we like to believe it or not, it is real, and it can happen anytime. Yes. As well as with health. Now, when I came to the UK in 2006, I could see, in the bus stops, they would say out of every 10 people, one would have cancer. But now I think
it's 5. It's gone down.
I think it's 5 now. 4 or 5. I mean, don't quote me on that. I mean, please don't quote us on that. So, I mean, it is very important for people to accept that sooner or later, especially with the lifestyle that we're living, with all the screen time, with lack of nutritious food, all these the people munching on fast foods and having a bad lifestyle and all the stress around. Okay, that is out of our control, because it's how the world is functioning. But what is in control is we can protect us should there be any mishaps or any mishelp or even a death in the family. So that is why I create a need for them. You see, I mean, I create a need, and then we start talking. But yes, especially with young people, they are so confident, and they just try to shove all these things off. Another example that I give is, just because the government has made car insurance mandatory, you have it. But something which is more valuable, your life, you don't want to protect, and that's how I laugh.
And that is you, actually. So I always use it as if there's an ATM machine. I've always used that example, that there's an ATM machine. Every time you come back from work, you go to that ATM machine, you put your card and money comes out. Put your card and money comes out. But one day you go there and there's no money. There's no money that comes out. So how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to cater for your family or your children? And that ATM, when somebody asks me, so who is the ATM? The ATM is yourself, because you work, and it's through you that you can pay bills and all these things. So if you fall ill, if you're sick and you cannot work, how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to continue with your life? So insurance is important. Or even if you passed on, and I know some people say, oh, I will not pass on, and that they make me laugh, because most of these people, not all of them, but most of them are actually Christians. And I'm thinking, do you really know what your faith is? Because your faith talks about Jesus went to prepare a place for us. So who is that place that he's going to prepare? And we're always saying, oh, he's preparing a place. Who is that place for? Is it not for you? So someday you'll go and you're going to a better place. And they'll say, oh, I'm not going to die. But there's nowhere in the Bible that says physically you're not going to die. Every single person is going to die physically. It's spiritually that we're going to live forever. So those Christians that say that, they don't even know their Bible. And they also say that, oh, Jesus is my insurance. Jesus is not your insurance, because insurance is something that expires. Jesus is your assurance, because assurance does not expire.
Yeah.
So your insurance, and the same God said he has given us wisdom. He said, leave inheritance for your children's children. So this is all that part of having insurance and guiding yourself and even your property and everything that you have. So yes, I understand insurance is very, very important. Yeah. But now, after you've told them insurance is important and they understand, and they go back to the next question, but it's very expensive, I cannot afford.
Yes, that's a lot of I do get that a lot. But I mean, even when I started this, I found even I was under the same impression, so I don't blame them actually. But once I started doing this job, and if you only trust me, insurance is one of the cheapest things that you can get in the UK with what it actually gives you in return.
Yes,
I think if you're a family of 2, and I think your life cover is almost equivalent as your milk expenses for the month with inflation. I think if you ask me, everything is inflated apart from the insurance premiums at the moment. So
because those ones have stayed the same. They've stayed the same.
Exactly.
And insurance, I was even calculating it with coffee. People who like drinking coffee.
Yeah.
You drink coffee is 60, it's £1.60.
Let's say
for
£2 now.
Okay, £2 for 1 cup.
Yeah.
So that's £6 a day.
Yeah.
If you're people who drink coffee, because they drink like 3 cups.
No, let's say even 1 cup a day, it's £60. Or let's say if you only work 20 days, so £40. In £40, I bet you a client would get themselves covered for life, as well as an additional product, whether critical illness or income protection, which is a very good. I mean, that is mostly all of the gaps covered. So. Yeah.
So insurance is not really expensive.
No,
it's affordable.
No, trust me, it is not. Yes.
And also, as we talk about the affordability of insurance, I know we work for a company called Precise Protect, and we're governed and regulated by FCA. And with the reason why I love Precise Protect as well is because we actually talk to individuals and cater for you according to your needs and affordability. Yes. So if your affordability is £100 and mine is £20, we'll still play. We're still flexible with that, with what you can afford. Yes. So people shouldn't shy away and say it's expensive.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well when it comes to affordability is priority. If you ask me, I'll say priority, because I'll give you this. One day I went to see one of my clients, and this guy was actually 78 years old, but he was still a security man. So I admired him that he's still working at 78. That's very good. But then I was telling him about insurance. At 78, this man has never had insurance in his life. He's a Kenyan. So I was telling him, okay, so daddy, if you're to pass on, where do you want to be buried? First of all, at 78, he's not even, he's trying to say, oh, God forbid, I will never die at 78. And then he's also saying, if I pass on, I want to be buried, I want to be repatriated. So I said, do you have any money set aside for repatriation? He said, no. And then I said, so why can't you take insurance? Even £60 a month because of your age. You're 78, of course. So even just something for repatriation. He says, wow, I don't even know how they will repatriate my body, but they will repatriate me. The community will give money. My wife, people know my wife. And I was looking at this man thinking, oh, Lord Jesus. The awareness in our community. And you know why I said priority? This man was paying for his Sky £90 a month. So I'm asking him, if anything was to happen to you and you're paying £90 for Sky, how is that Sky going to help your children? How is that Sky going to repatriate your body? How is that Sky you're going to leave anything behind for even your grandchildren as a little gift? How is that going to help? Oh, he has to watch this guy. And I looked at him and I said, priority. And we have a lot of people like that. They prefer, and I'm not saying your alcohol, don't smoke, don't do clubbing, don't buy handbags and nice cars and everything. You can buy all those things. That's fine, because that's the lifestyle you've chose. But as you enjoy those things, also know that if I was to pass on, or if I was to be sick, or if I was to be made, I don't have a job, or I have a fracture, or I'm very sick and I need private medical, there is money on the side for that.
Yes, very true. Plus, one thing I always tell my clients is, money can't buy you insurance. It's good health, because if you've got some kind of an illness, I mean, or even let's say you've got diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, I think you're looking at a loading of at least minimum 100%, or maybe even if we're talking about 18 companies we have to offer, maybe only 1 or 2 we will be able to offer. So I always tell my clients, it's not about having money. Premiums only pay for insurance, but actually good health gives you insurance. So I always tell my young clients, never take it for granted. Do it while you're young. Yeah.
And you're fit as well.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the factors that determine how much you pay for insurance? Because I know some people will say, yeah, but so and so is paying £30. Why am I paying £50? So these people are different, but they don't understand that.
Yeah.
They're just looking at what so and so is paying for. Why am I paying more? So can you tell us, or the viewers who are listening today, what are the 5 factors? Because I know there are 5 factors that will determine how much you're paying.
Yes, that's a very good question. I was speaking to one of my clients last weekend, and they were paying £94, and I told them straight away, listen, you will always have people, you will get people at work, and while you're having lunch or maybe talking, this topic is going to come out, and somebody might say I'm paying £10, somebody might say I'm paying £20, somebody might say I'm paying £150. Remember, everything is bespoke, and everything, it's very individual. So never compare your protection with anybody else, because it's always apple to bananas. It's never apples with apples, because there's only one you and one your husband.
Yes.
Okay. The two of you, it's you are an individual, and it's not going to be the same, because the term may be different, the coverage might be very different. So I always tell them, look, this is the recommendation I have for you, and it's bespoke, and this is the best for you. So anytime you speak about insurance and you see there's a fluctuation in what you pay, always remember that it's because you are different than every one of them, and your coverage is also different from everybody else. And with regards to your question, yes, there are 5 factors. It's lifestyle, it's health, it's age.
Okay, so take us slowly.
Okay.
So we have lifestyle. So yes. What is lifestyle?
So lifestyle, as in if you smoke or not.
Or if you smoke.
Yes, I mean that's a major factor, because it's almost double, or maybe
or triple,
or sometimes even triple as well. So that is a major factor, and I always tell my clients, please be very honest with this, because because I've seen a lot of clients. What I do is, if a client says I don't smoke, I ask them any nicotine replacement products. I always ask that, because
that is termed as smoking.
That's termed as smoking.
So the factors is lifestyle, and in lifestyle you say there's smoking,
there's BMI,
and there's BMI. So for people who don't know what BMI is,
it's your body mass index, which is basically they have a
height and weight,
or they have a calculator where they compare your height and weight, and should you go above the threshold, there is a loading,
and loading is you're gonna pay more.
You're gonna pay more because of your BMI. So
okay, so the 5 factors. So one factor, just to go slowly, is your lifestyle, and lifestyle is there's smoking status, and there's BMI, which is your height and your weight. Okay, so number 2, what's the second
number
one?
2 is health. Like as I said before, if you've got diabetes, you straight away looking at a loading of 50%, anywhere up to 125 to 150 to 200%, as well as the rejection as well. This is just one example. We've got so many illnesses, so It depends on your current health status as well as your medical history as well.
Okay.
Normally they look at last 5 years, but there are certain like heart conditions and
Heart attack.
cancers where they look into more than 5 years as well.
Okay.
But
So we have lifestyle, and then we also have medical, so pre-existing medical.
as well as your medical history as well.
Okay. So that's number 2. So number 3.
Number 3 is age. As
Age,
yes, as
okay.
we discussed, it's we always recommend to take it young, so
Yes.
that you know
Yes.
it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Because what I always tell people is, let's say you start over here and you end over here, and let's say somebody who starts over here, both of you, if you say take the same cover, you might pay the same premium, but he will be protected from start, but while this person will have a risk period in between. So what I tell them is, listen, if you're not going to take insurance, it's okay, don't take it. Okay, I don't recommend it, but if that's your choice, okay, I respect it. But if you're going to take it after a year or two, I say
It's
take
gonna
it now.
go up.
Because it's going to go now, you're just going to increase your risk period. That's it.
And also, it's not by you saying, okay, I'll take it in 2 years or 3 years, you don't even know what's ahead of you.
Exactly.
So apart from age, you might even have a medical. Because I have had clients, in fact, me and one of my colleagues, this was really, really sad, because we spoke to the client in November and she said, no, I'm not ready, I'll take it. We spoke to, because it was 2 months, September, October, we spoke to the client in October. By December, they were coming back, they were diagnosed with diabetes. Yeah. And we're like, too bad.
I'm sure there's a lot of cases like this.
There's a lot of cases like that, but this broke my heart, because we really, really tried to talk to the lady and the husband, and they're like, oh no. And then now, they when we gave them, they were meant to pay £50, but now when we gave it to them, it was 150 or declined.
Yeah.
So we're like, you see, if you are taking it the time we're telling you to take it. So yes, so we have lifestyle, we have medical, we have age. And what's number 4?
Number 4 is sum assured, because
sum assured.
Sum assured, because somebody, let's say, wants a cover for $500,000, somebody wants a cover for only 100,000, somebody wants it for 1 million. So, so it depends on how much you want to protect your family, and that determines the price you pay every month as well. So
okay, so you can't compare. Somebody's taking 500, somebody's taking 100, somebody's taking 1 million, and you want to compare yourselves.
Yes, I will tell you a situation. I have a client who is in regular touch with me. She's recommended me a lot of clients, but every time her recommended client becomes my client, she's always on the phone. I'm paying this, why is she paying that?
Oh dear.
And then I always have to say, because your husband smokes, her sum assured is less than yours, and your life insurance has a term till 80, theirs is only till 70.
Yes.
So this is a very good question, especially this sum assured and term, because we get that a lot.
Okay, so we have, number 1 we have lifestyle, number 2 we have medical, number 3 we have what was number 3 again? Number 3 we have age, number 4 we have sum assured, and then number 5
is term.
It depends. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when the policy ends.
Yes. And the good thing about Precise is we do up till the age of 90, as well as whole of life as well. So we know a lot of companies who do only till 70, 75, but we have that sort of flexibility. We can give up to
the age of 90,
or even if they want whole of life, we can do whole of life as well.
Okay. All right, so guys, you hear, don't compare yourself with someone else and say, well, my friend is paying this, why am I paying this? Because we have 5 different factors that will determine how much your insurance is going to be. So if you can, especially if you're listening and you're a parent and you have children who are from the age of 16, is it? From the age of 16 or 18? From the age of 18, advise them to take the insurance. Okay, advise them to take insurance. And now we're going to talk about different types of insurance, because somebody might hear this and say, well, I don't want my child to take life insurance. Why is my child taking life insurance? But it's not just life insurance. We have different types of insurances. So can you...
Yeah, I get that a lot as well. You see, clients, they tell me, oh, I don't want to take life insurance. I'm gone. Why do I need it? Okay.
Yeah. Those are selfish ones, by the way. Very selfish clients.
But, I mean,
You cannot just think of yourself. Somebody has children, and
Exactly.
you're saying that, well, I'm dead. I don't care about my. You don't care about what you're leaving your children
Exactly.
behind. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To me, and I do get that as well in my community. But straight away, I just say this is a selfish human being, because you cannot say that. And you have children. If you didn't have children, I will understand. But you have children, and yet you're saying I'm dead, so I don't care.
Yeah.
That's a very bad mentality.
Yes, I mean, I've had clients who say, I'm not interested. I ask them, do you have children? No. Are you married? No. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I tell them, I respect
There's
the
no
decision.
liability.
Yeah. There's no liability.
Yeah.
Enjoy life.
Mm.
And then maybe once you get married or you have kids,
Come back.
we'll talk again.
Okay.
Yeah, so with regards to your question, yes, I mean, there are a lot of other products like critical illness.
Mm-hmm.
A company called Vitality, they even one step
names.
better. They sorry. Okay.
Don't call names of company, because we're not selling any company here
Okay.
today. We are selling
All right.
products.
There is a company who does serious illness, so you don't have to be critically ill as well, where you're covered for 182 illnesses as well. So yes, critical illness, that's one of my go-to products when if I were to recommend, especially young people.
Mm.
I mean, I would be wrong in saying especially young people. I mean, because the statistics also say that as you get older, you're more prone to having critical illnesses.
Yeah.
But the cost factor comes in, which I respect that as well.
Mm.
But for young people, where the critical illness is also very cheap, I always recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
Third is income protection.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good product because it doesn't destabilize your finances when you're not able to work.
Mm.
So because you have a set amount, companies do from 60 to 70%, which I think covers. I'm sure when you're ill, you like to reduce your cost. So I think income protection, the coverage of 60 to 70% of your
Your income.
of your income,
Annual income.
you can say monthly or annually. It covers that, so I think that's a very good protection. It's not if you're young or midlife or in your 40s as well. It's not. It is affordable, as you say. I mean, compared to what prices we are paying for grocery, fuel, or any other things, I think insurance, critical illness income protection is very affordable. Then we've got family income benefit. If someone were to pass away, rather than having a lump sum, because some people are not good at handling lump sum, so they rather prefer
Monthly payment.
monthly payment. So that's a good benefit as well. Having a set income every month coming for a term of your choice. And we have private medical as well, especially with the NHS wait after the pandemic. I think that's a product which will be liked more in the future, I guess.
In fact, private medical is very important because our boss, both of us, he has cancer, and he's okay for us to talk about it because he said he talks about it all the time. And uses as an example. And I know the last time we were talking to him, he said he has spent almost 60K of treatment, 60,000 treatment with his private, and private has paid for it.
Yeah.
So if he did not have private, where will he get 60,000 to use?
He's lucky that he had private, and the other thing is it was diagnosed as well. If he was
earlier, yes, because he had private.
With NHS, I think it would have been diagnosed much
really
later.
late. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you see there's a lot of people, because with NHS there's a lot of misdiagnosis, right? And because the list is forever long, and right now we are talking there's 4.5 million people on the waiting list. You're very sick and they're telling you to wait for 9 months, to wait for 1 year, to wait for 2. My friend, I spoke to my friend yesterday, and he said he had something with his teeth, and they gave him 2 years. He's been waiting for 2 years, and I was like, Jesus, if this person just had private medical, why can't you just listen? Just pay for your private medical. Exactly. And I can testify to that private medical, because we went for MOT for me and my children, because I have private medical, and the things that came out, I was shocked. Now I've started walking, because the things that came out wasn't very good for me. So I've started walking now, and it came out for my children as well. And I was really, really shocked. And I was thinking, that's why sometimes you see someone just sit down and they're gone because of the things that they have, because the excess, the thorough check that private medical does, NHS doesn't do it.
Oh, okay.
They don't do it. So the depth of them going into, in fact, even if you have children, you need to have private medical.
Yeah, very
You
true.
need to have private medical. So we have different covers. So we have life insurance, we have critical illness, we have income protection, we have family income benefit, we have private medical cover, and we also have mortgage protection. So it's amazing that some people have mortgage, but they don't have mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
How?
I mean, I think I don't know how it gets missed. But I have clients who've got a mortgage and no savings, and they don't have mortgage protection.
Whoa.
Mortgage protection is very
So
cheap,
important, and it's
it's
so
very,
cheap.
It's very cheap as well.
Because even in the office, I met this guy in the kitchen, and I was like, "What do you guys do?" Because our building is huge, and by the way, we work in Canary Wharf, the city. So just to throw it up there, and the guy was like, "They do properties." So I was like, "Oh, that's good." So who provides the insurance? Do you know what this guy told me? He said he doesn't care. He said, "I'm selling you a property. If you don't think of getting insurance, that's your problem." I was like, "Seriously? Do you then advise them?" He said no. So because of the awareness, again, if you're selling me a property and you don't tell me how important it is to have insurance, I wouldn't. Some people is just pure ignorance, and some people is they didn't know. They don't know nothing about it. They don't know that if I have this, I have to protect it. I have to do this. So that's what the man told me, and I was really shocked. So they just sell it and they don't even advise you to take protection. So imagine how many people have mortgage, because I've even spoken to some people who have mortgage and they don't have protection. How important is it to have the mortgage protection?
It is very important, especially when you consider the cost. It is very cheap. So any protection is very good, trust me, because no one can guarantee, as we started the conversation, there is no guarantee about health and death. So, and plus Precise, we have a beautiful product called Relevant Life, where if you're a company director or if your family members work in your company, you can take Relevant Life and you can pay it from your business account, and it's 100% goes as expenses on your corporation taxes as well.
Wow. So that's called Relevant Life, and that's only for people with businesses.
With businesses, yes. Yeah. And the family members, if they're working in the company, if they happen to get any sort of payment from the company.
Okay, so maybe like we have a company, example, I have a company, I'm the director, and then maybe one of my children is the manager, and another one is this in the company. So all of us can actually take insurance.
Exactly.
And the company pays for it. And every year we get it back through corporate tax.
Yeah, you can claim
it back.
You can put it as 100% expenses on your corporation taxes.
So why would I not have insurance if I have a company? Why won't I have private medical and income protection and life and everything? But there's also a downfall for that, for business, for the Relevant Life. It's very good. It's a very good product. But I know with the mainstream one, which is not business, because you're claiming it back 100%. So because of that, it only covers clients up to the age of 75.
75, yes.
Or if it's critical illness, up to the age of 70.
70, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't go more than that.
Yeah.
But at least you're still covered up to the age of 75 and 70.
Yeah.
And you're not paying anything for it because you're claiming it back.
One more thing, a lot of clients ask me, what happens if I close my business, which is a very good question. You can continue that same policy. All you need to do is just give the company a call and give your personal sort code and account number. You don't need to go through everything again. So how good is that? It's very nice. So there's no risk as well about having the product.
Wow, that's that's good, because we're talking about insurance, and I don't want us to take too long, because I want people to actually listen and understand the importance of having insurance. So the other thing as well that I wanted to ask, the age, the entrance age, because I know something with income protection, once you hit 60, you cannot get it.
Yes.
So income protection is from 18 to 59.
Yeah.
So you cannot take it when you're 60. Okay. Because I've got a client of mine, and the client was 60 and they rejected, and she was very angry. And I was like, well, it's not my fault. That's the policy. That's the policy of insurance. If you're taking income protection, you have to take it from 58 and under. And also, if you take it from the age of 50, it's very, very expensive from the age of 50, and it's going to go to something called the underwriter.
Yeah.
Okay, underwriting.
Underwriting, yes.
So underwriting is the doctors and the nurses. They'll come to your house. They'll check, why do you want this insurance? You know, when you're from 50 and above, when you hit 5th floor and you want to take insurance, unless it's life insurance, then it's just straightforward. But when it's things like income protection, there's too many questions and too many nurses being sent to your house because they want to understand why you want to take insurance at this particular time. What about life insurance? At what age can you? I know entrance is 18. To what age?
We have products that we can give till 90 as well as...
No. Entrance. The entrance is 18. And to up to what age? Because I know if you're 70, 80, 79, you cannot take life insurance. They can only give you funeral cover.
I would need to double check on that, but the oldest client of mine is 70.
Yeah, so the oldest client of mine was 78, a lady, when I gave her. She was still a nurse. Okay. I have, my Kenyans are strong, you know. Yeah. I can't believe someone is 78 and she's still a nurse. I only want to get there. By 78, I want to be somewhere in Kenya, you know, drinking that coconut, is it coconut drink, water, you know, just relaxing. Yeah. But it's okay because she's stronger. I'm not that strong. So I have a client at 78, but I know with life insurance, you can take it from 79 to 18. By the time you hit 80, you cannot take life insurance anymore. They will only give you something called funeral cover, okay? Funeral plan, because you know what they say, you're going next to the father now. You're almost meeting daddy. Don't be scared. So at 79, you cannot get life insurance. So take it early. What about critical illness? I don't know the time for critical illness, but I would think it's 69.
It's 69. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I think it's 69. So when you're taking critical illness as well, when you're over 69, they won't give it to you, okay? Because at that time, you're more prone to have critical illness. So they won't give it to you as well. So from 69 to 18 as well. What about family income? I would say it's the same thing.
It's the same, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And private medical, that doesn't have an age because it's
no, it
annually.
Doesn't have an age, but I think it's just going to be ridiculously expensive.
It's going to be expensive.
Yes.
And guys, let me tell you how they calculate the private medical. This is so funny. Private medical really is not about age. Private medical is about
location.
Location. It's about postcode.
Postcode,
okay.
Yes.
So if your postcode, if you're living in London and somebody's living in where my boss told me this. Leicester. The person who's living in Leicester, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, you were there. The person who's living in Leicester and another one was living in London. So the person who was living in London came to £250 a month, and the person who was living in Leicester came to 60. Was this?
He came to £62.
£62, and I was like, no way! You're kidding me. The same product, the same everything. Now it's location. It's like driving. You know, driving as well is the same thing. If I put my postcode in London and then I put my sister's postcode who lives outside London, it's half price. But I can't say I live in my sister's house. No. But that was really upsetting when I saw that. So private medical is where your postcode. I have clients of mine that live in Manchester. I have clients of mine who live outside London. One of them is paying £150 because she has it's her and her daughter. But when I did the same quote in my address, it's £300. Why is that? Because the hospitals in London are very expensive. If you spend one night in the hospital in London, a private hospital, it's £4,000 a night, right? That was what Andy said. £4,000 a night to spend just one night in a private hospital in London. But outside London, if you spend a night, it's £500 a night. So that's why a private medical is about your postcode. So guys, why can't you have private medical, especially if you're living outside London? Oh, you can even have private medical in London, but say you don't want a London hospital. You can do that choice as well. Yes, I think it's called country hospital. So you can say you don't want a hospital in London, you want a hospital a little bit further. So you can have a hospital in because we have London, and then where is near London? Hertfordshire or Luton. You can have a hospital just slightly outside rather than in London, because London, guys, they are robbers. This is robbery without violence. They are robbers. Okay, so now I want us to discuss one of the most important things that everybody say, well, insurance is a scam. I don't want to take insurance because they are scams. And yes, I can tell you, they are only scam because you are scam first. So let's discuss why insurance don't pay, because it's just true, they don't pay sometimes.
Exactly. That's why you see 90 claims paid out is 93%, 89%, 97%, which means there's not a 100% payout. One top reason is transparency. As we said earlier, let's say somebody who smokes, just because of the price, he says, I'm a non-smoker. That's one. Secondly, it's because if you don't disclose your health, that's also one of the transparency issues. These two are the main reasons, I think, claims are declined. And then the other one is the wrong product. Like I've had so
before we talk about the wrong product, I'll go back to the smoking and the drinking and your lifestyle. Okay. So with the lifestyle, we hear that even vaping is smoking according to insurance. Okay. So even if you stop smoking, for 6 months or 1 year, it doesn't matter how many years must you have stopped.
1 year, but the standard is 1 year. But there are companies who
2 years.
Who ask for 2 years, some 3 years, some 5 years. So it depends on companies, but as a norm, it is 1 year. So.
Okay, so it depends with the company that you're taking the product with. So it's very important to tell your advisor that I'm an ex-smoker. I stopped this and this and this date. Don't just think that, oh, now I don't smoke. I've not been smoking for 6 months, so it's fine. I wouldn't say it. You have to say it. So that is one of the transparency. And another one as well is alcohol. And even if you don't drink alcohol all the time, maybe you drink alcohol once, special occasion, just say it. Because let me tell you what can happen. That one special occasion that you decided to drink and drink and drink, only once a year probably, that's the day something happens to you.
Exactly.
And they find alcohol in your system.
Yeah.
But when you did insurance, you said you don't drink.
Yeah.
So that's another fact. So even if you don't drink, just say, occasionally I'll drink wine, spirit, whatever, because you're allowed to drink up to 32 units. 32 units a month or a week?
I think it's 16 to 18, but again, we will have to check on the. You can easily check on the NHS website what is the legal limit for how many units you can drink.
But it's a lot. I don't even think there's anybody who drinks unless you're alcoholic.
Exactly.
It's a lot of units. So it's fine. You can say I drink 4 units, 6 units. It doesn't matter. 8 units, even 10. It doesn't matter, because if anything was to happen and they find alcohol and they check and they say, yeah, the person did actually say that they drink alcohol. And then the other thing as well that is very important when it comes to transparency is the BMI.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you want to lose weight. Like now I'm trying to lose some weight. Okay. But if I'm taking insurance, I will still give my BMI now. Because me saying that, oh, let me just say I'm 80 and I'm actually 100, not that I'm 100, that's example. Me saying that I'm 80 and I'm actually 100 and I'm thinking, no, I'll be 80 because I want to lose weight. Anything can happen in between and you decide to either relax, not losing weight, or anything can happen and you die between that time. Because nobody knows tomorrow. And then they check your BMI is 100, but yet you said it's 80. They won't pay. See?
Yeah, very true.
Very true. And now medical as well. Yeah. Maybe 2 years ago you had something and then your advisor is asking you, say, no, I have nothing. It doesn't matter whether it's 15 years. Just say it. In the insurance now, with their own discretion, they will say, okay, 5 years is fine, 10 years is fine, but just say it. That one as well is another factor. They will not pay. So you have to be very transparent when it comes to medical, when it comes to drinking, when it comes to BMI, when it comes to smoking. You have to be very transparent. So what was the second one?
The second was having the wrong product. I go to a lot of clients, we sit down and review and they say, yes, I have insurance. They're very happy. But when I go and see, it's not life insurance, it's accident cover, and you are only covered for death if you've got if you meet an accident and they just, oh, I didn't know that. So there's so that's why we say, you know, when I call my clients, I say that when was the last time you reviewed? Are you sure there's no gaps in your products? So that's what I recommend the financial advisors to, you know, to ask, even if say there's some of the clients say I have insurance, just ask them, are you sure there's no gaps? Ask them if it's in a trust. So yes, the wrong product as well. And then later if something happens and then you go on to claim, and then you know that you've died a natural death, and then you're not paid. So that means that either you misunderstood the product or you missold the product, but actually
so those two can happen, missold or misunderstood.
Yes.
And I know, with again going back to my community, because a lot of my clients are from and when I say I don't mean Kenyan community, I mean black community, because I have Ghanaians, I have Nigerians, I have, you know, I have, even though Kenyans are more of my clients, but we don't like reading. And insurance will bring you something like this. They like bringing big things. And you look at it and you think, oh my God, what time am I working? I'm looking for my children, cooking for my husband or my wife. I don't have time to read this. And you've signed it because they give you 2 weeks, and they say in 2 weeks time, if you don't say this is wrong, your insurance could. So in 2 weeks time, you did not sign the thing and send it back.
And so there is a trust factor as well, that you've trusted the financial advisor that all the information that is there is correct.
Is correct. But don't forget, some of them are not even advisors. They're just sellers. They just sell insurance policy to you. So that's why it's very important to understand what you're saying. Like you rightfully said, a lot of policies are accidental death. And that's why somebody will tell you, I'm paying £6. I've met so many people who say, I pay £10. What is £10? How can you be paying £10 and you're getting 100,000? That's not true. That cannot happen. You can only pay that £10 because it's accidental death only. And then I meet people as well who tell me, no, I have critical illness. I have critical illness. It's not critical illness. Is
accident cover.
No, accident cover. And what's the other one? There's critical illness.
Fracture
and there's
cover?
No, it's not a cover at all. It's when you die 12 months death. How's it called that? When they give you only 12 months to
terminal
live.
illness.
Terminal illness. Oh God, yeah. So they confuse terminal illness and critical illness. And they'll tell you, no, I have critical. So I ask them, so how much are you paying? They say £15. I'm like, there's no way you have critical. Because critical, you cannot be paying £15. That is terminal illness. So they'll go and look at it and say, oh my God, I say, give me your papers, let me read it for you. Some of them will trust you enough to give it to you. So when I look at it, first of all is accidental death. The next thing is terminal illness. But they believed that they have life insurance and they had critical illness. And that's not the case. Now, when they go to claim something happens, they can't give. Who are they going to blame? Insurance. They say, oh, insurance, they're scammers. I had critical illness and they refused to pay me. You did not have critical illness. First of all, the person who sold it to you was not a good person. He wasn't an advisor. He was just a salesman. 2, you didn't read your policy. So because all these things, who are you blaming? You should blame yourself, but who do they blame? Insurance company. That's why everybody's saying insurance are scammers. They don't pay. They do pay. But because I have one client, she's a lady, and this was sad because I actually knew her, and she died of cancer. It's cancer that killed her. But when they were doing autopsy, because you know insurance will try and look for every loophole not to pay. So don't give them that. Don't give them that loophole. When they were doing autopsy and everything, they found out that she also had liver because she was drinking a lot. That's not what killed her. What killed her was cancer. But they didn't pay. They refused to pay. And the brother was like, I'm taking insurance to court. And I'm like, who are you going to sue? Your sister lied in her application.
True.
So you have to be very, very transparent with these things. And you have to know who you're taking insurance from. And these ones that you're paying £6, £10, £15, trust me, you're wasting your money. It's not worth it. Because most of them, not all of them, but most of them are accidental death. And there's no critical illness there. It's terminal illness. And what is terminal illness?
Terminal illness is something if the GP writes a letter and says that you won't be living for more than 12 months.
You only have 12 months to live.
12 months. So they give you a period that they assume that you won't be living more than 12 months. That's terminal illness. So so you will be paid your life insurance money during that period, and it's only paid once. So don't think that once you have terminal illness you get the money and then after that you'll get it again. So it's only a one-off payment.
But most likely you're dead anyway, so you can't
Yeah.
get it again.
Exactly.
But
So-
sometimes as well you live, because
Yeah.
I have again my colleague Alex, who was told that he had only 12 months to live, but he's lived for, is it 10 or 15 more years? He's still around. But he's sad because I don't know if that time he had insurance, but he could have been given his money, his life insurance money. And then if you live, that has nothing to do with insurance. They've paid you already anyway.
True.
So that's what terminal illness is. So there's a difference between terminal illness and critical illness. So do not mistake these two. Now, I heard you mention something that a lot of people don't have: trust.
Yes.
How is it important to have your insurance policy in trust?
Okay. I always recommend a policy in trust, because it's okay. Let's say the husband passes away, the wife gets it automatically. The wife passes away, the husband gets it automatically. But should there be a second death, and then probate kicks in, and then if it goes into probate, you're waiting for 12 to 24 months, and then on top of anything over 650 or 325 if you're single, there's 40% inheritance tax.
That's for the mortgage though.
No, that's for everything, because if your policy is not in trust, it goes onto the pot. So anything over 325 or 650 on the pot. So if
It's
your life
40%.
insurance, so if your life insurance is not in the trust, it goes in the pot. So we always recommend it to keep it separate by having it in a trust.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people who have 500,000 life insurance. A lot of people take 500,000.
But they don't
So
have
if
it in a trust.
They don't have it in a trust. So if you have this 500,000 and it's not in trust, it's going to incur 40%
Yes.
tax.
Inheritance tax if the total pot value is over 650, which most likely if you have a property in London, by the time you pass away it's going to be over 600, half a million or 600,000 anyway. So it's plus. Why would you want plus? I was doing one of my CPT classes on trust, and then the lady said that the people have to take loan in order to pay the inheritance tax bill.
Yep.
And then later on get the inheritance. So trust is very, very important.
Because if your money is in trust as well, it comes out from is it 7 to 10 working days?
7 to 10 working days. You just open a trustee account, and the money comes in within 7 to 10 working days, and it's free of taxes.
Wow. Okay, I think we've covered so much, because we don't want to give too much. We just want to give little doses about insurance. Guys, insurance is very important. Is there anything you'd like to say before your last remarks to the viewers?
Thank you for your time. Thank you for viewers for taking all the time to listen to Lydia and myself. We had a pandemic, and they're guessing, or I mean they think that there'll be a pandemic every 5 years from now on. So which nobody can guarantee, but looks like it, because we already had the scare of monkeypox. So it's always good to have protection, and trust me, sit with a financial advisor and you'll be amazed at the costs. It's if you're thinking if you have 100% budget, trust me, in 25% of that budget you can do a very, very good coverage of your family. So don't leave it. I know a lot of people who say tomorrow. Don't wait until tomorrow, because nothing is guaranteed for tomorrow. If you are married or if you have small kids, get yourself protected, because that is a number one priority. And I have friends in the States, I have friends in Australia. Trust me, compared to the premiums over there, what we get in the UK, we are very, very lucky. The premiums are very, very cheap. So as I said, if you know any financial advisor, just give them a call. Even if you have a policy, just have it reviewed. Check if there's any gaps or not. if your policy might be expiring next year, as long as you're fit and healthy, have it extended to a term that suits you. So don't ignore this topic. As you saw, we saw. I'm sure most people loved lost ones during COVID. Most people have seen maybe a heart attack or a cancer within their close ones as well. So get some sort of a protection before. As I said, I don't work in any of the companies, but before it becomes expensive or they start increasing the premiums, which we haven't seen. So as I said, it may happen, it may not happen, but why give the companies the opportunity to charge you more when you can have it for affordable premiums at the moment? So yeah, that's what I would like to say to my viewers, and thank you, Lydia, for having me here.
Okay, thank you. Just to add on, we actually work for a company called Precise Protect, and is regulated by FCA. And FCA is the same body that regulates the banks as well. So if you have insurance with us under Precise Protect, you're covered. I don't have insurance behind my house, because someone will say, I don't want to take it with Lydia. Is she working for behind the house? No, it's not in Kenya, and it's not in, which country do you come
Nepal.
from? It's not in Nepal either, and it's not in Kenya. It's here in the UK. We work for the whole of market. So every day you wake up and you hear them talking about insurance in your TV, or when you're driving, or billboards, or anywhere you see insurance, that company that you're looking at, we work for that company, because we work for the whole of market. So we work for every company in the UK. So you can call me and say, this is the company I want because I'm comfortable with that company. You've done your research and this is the company I want. We will give you that company if that's the company you want. We're also here to advise you which one is the best company because of your needs and your affordability. I will direct you to the best company. Now, I just want to talk about plan A, B, and C. Now, I always ask people, if you have insurance and you have investment, right, and you have savings, I always ask which one comes first. The funny thing is, insurance always comes last.
Yeah.
And I tell them that insurance should be your plan A.
Yeah.
Okay? So insurance should be your plan A. Of course, investment and savings is so important, and you should also teach your children this. So important to invest and so important to save. Now, the difference is, and that's why I say insurance is plan A. The difference is nobody knows tomorrow. Now, I might have investment and say, I want to invest in 5 years' time. I want to build this. In 10 years' time, this is what I want. Now I'm planning that in 10 years' time, I don't want to be in this country. I want to be in Kenya. So, but that might not happen the way I'm planning it. I might even pass on before that 10 years. I might be here, but that 10 years I've not done what I was thinking of doing. So now, but if you have insurance as your plan A, if you passed on today or tomorrow, the insurance will pay out. If your investment was your plan was 5 years, and that 5 years you did not get to that 5 years, insurance will pay you if you don't even get to that 5 years. Your savings as well. Your saving, maybe you're saying in 5 years' time, I want to save 1 million. Okay? The difference between investment, savings, and insurance. Simple. Nobody knows tomorrow. Because if you take insurance today, and you pass on 2 days later, you get paid. You get paid even before they take the first payout. If you take insurance today and I say, okay, my client, they finish writing, and then tomorrow you don't wake up, you're getting paid because you are insured already and the insurance has gone through and they said, yes, you're insured. So that's the only difference between investment, savings, and insurance is nobody knows tomorrow. So guys, please protect yourself, protect your family, and let's forget that mentality of generational curses and poverty. Let's start thinking of generational wealth. So until then, I'll say thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. And once again, I just want to apologize about Kenya and Friends in the Park. That was meant to take place on the 25th and 26th of June. It was out of our control, guys. And Sauti Sol too have cancelled the event, which is sad, very sad. That was meant to be on the 25th. So I was even happy that, okay, Kenya in the Park is cancelled. There's still Sauti Sol. People can come and enjoy Sauti Sol. That one too has been cancelled. and things beyond our control. And now Kenya in the Park is on the 23rd and the 24th of July. So check our website, which is www.kenyainthepark.com for more information, for venue, confirmation, and for more information. Until then, it can only be God. See ya.